welcome to another edition of Long Beach Treasure. I'm your host, Harvey Keller. Today I have two guests who are residents here in Rose Park, and they're going to give us a brief history of the area, and then we're going to go on and we're going to check out a couple of homes. I have here Shannon Jones, and I have Kasten Kansteiner.
Yes.
And give me a little history of the Rose Park.
This neighborhood was primarily built between about 1905 and 1924, although you will find homes that were built up until about the 50s or 60s, and then unfortunately some multifamily structures that were built in the 1970s and 80s due to demand for affordable housing. The predominant architectural style in this area is the Craftsman bungalow. And so if you look around the circle here or you look on the nearby streets, that's mostly what you'll see is Craftsman style architecture. There's also some Spanish style homes and then a variety of other homes as well. It's one of the older neighborhoods in Long Beach, and considering how close we are to the beach here, it's probably one of the best buys in terms of affordability still, although a lot more people have discovered it in the last few years.
Shannon, I believe you're a realtor, am I correct?
I am a realtor.
Then what would be the average prices? And you said this is an affordable neighborhood. What price range are we talking about?
I guess affordable is relative, Harvey. Affordable, you could probably get a very nice home in this neighborhood for between $500,000 and $600,000, and we do have some more entry-level homes closer in the $400,000 range.
Well, that's average, I would think, for the surrounding community.
Well, if you move into, Belmont Heights, the prices are considerably higher than that. But again, you're getting the Belmont Heights name, whereas not as many people are still familiar with the Rose Park name.
And Kasten, welcome back, because you and I did a show before, and we did 4th Street together.
Sure did. That was a lot of fun.
Could you give me the boundaries of Rose Park?
Boundary, it's actually from 10th Street all the way down to 4th Street, between Redondo Avenue and Cherry Avenue.
And what else can you tell us about the park area?
Well, we're actually standing in the very park. It's called Rose Park, and hence the whole neighborhood is called Rose Park. There are some beautiful roses here, which are maintained by the community, by the members of the Rose Park Neighborhood Association. And this park, actually, with its trees, is one of the really unique parks in the city because it was donated by the Alameda's land company.
Which was John Bixby?
Which was John Bixby in 1905. This is, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, one of the only parks in the neighborhood which was actually donated to the city. So, and it's like the only circular park.
So this was once part of the Rancho Los Alamitos?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And it's actually divided. If you look at old maps, we're actually in the Villa Tract right now. So there's the Villa Tract, which goes up to about, I believe, Anaheim, and then there's farmland. So it's really interesting. And we have pretty large homes here in this neighborhood, too, with large lot sizes, too.
No, I believe both you and Shannon live in Rose Park, do you not?
Yeah, we both do.
And you have a little Tudor house?
Yes, it's a Spanish Tudor, if I can say that. So there's some interesting versions, actually, in this neighborhood. It's not all of it is Craftsman, but it's very nice.
And your home is?
Mine's sort of a modified Craftsman farmhouse style. It's a 2-story. Mine is about 2,500 square feet, which is much larger than the norm in this area.
Oh, I would think so. I would think the norm would probably be between 1,200 and 1,500. Would that be accurate?
About 11 to 13. You're very close. Yeah, absolutely.
Anything else, Kasten, before we go check out some houses?
Actually, we have an interesting story about the park. We're trying to improve the park constantly with little improvements about new roses and maintaining the roses. And we've recently written a grant to improve the park. And we know from old pictures that there used to be a gazebo in this park. And we're trying to bring the gazebo back to the park, the historic gazebo that used to be here. So, and we've received really open arms from Phil Hester from the City of Long Beach Parks and Rec Department. So we are hoping that we're going to get a gazebo in this park.
Do you have a picture of it?
We have a picture of it, yes.
Because I was going to suggest you might try the Historical Society. They may have...
Actually, yeah, I've been in contact with the Historical Society, and there are some pictures there. So
before we go away, I want to note, this is one of 17 historical districts in the city, I believe.
Yes, it is.
And I noticed that you have signs, street signs, which are new and different and not the same as in the regular areas.
Yeah, I think the street signs really stand out, and we're really proud of them. We just recently got them. The street signs are a white background with a blue, actually font, and they really stand out at night. And we actually we have a wonderful Rose Park logo, which is on each street sign, so it really distinguishes the historic area. And not only Rose Park got those signs; those were written also again by Rose Park members. It was an MTA grant, so. And they look really wonderful.
Shannon, what's the crime rate like in the area?
Well, it's probably a better question for the police department, but it's really not that different than the surrounding area. We
so
do
it's
have
not a
some
high crime area.
It's not a high crime area, no. I mean, it is an urban environment, so there is some crime here, just like there would be anywhere.
Do you have a strong neighborhood association?
We have a very strong neighborhood association, absolutely.
So neighbors watch out for neighbors?
Absolutely. We, in addition to the neighborhood association, which covers the entire, area, again, from 4th Street to 10th Street and from St. Louis or Cherry to Redondo, we also have a number of very active neighborhood watch associations, which operate more on a kind of a street-by-street or block-by-block basis. But this is a very neighborly area. I've had a lot of people who've moved into the area and told me, I can't believe how many of my neighbors came to introduce themselves. I've lived other places and that never happened there.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, let's go check out a couple of homes in the area so we can give the viewers an idea of what we're talking about when we say homes here in Rose Park.
Sounds great.
Let's go.
Okay. Good.
Okay, now we're going to go out and we're going to check one of the houses here in Rose Park, and I see Dan Lowenthal up here. Dan, the last time I saw you, we did you when you lived in the penthouse at the Craftsman.
That's right. I think I've seen you since that
time.
Well,
yeah, but what made you move here?
Well, Suja and I, my wife Suja and I, had a baby who's now 2 years old, and we felt that this was just much more family-oriented and much more suited and appropriate for our lifestyle. And we moved here in January and are really happy. We love it here.
Why did you pick Rose Park?
We love Rose Park, the historic district. We had always actually had a strong affinity for this home, and the timing happened to be work out perfectly. The couple that was living here was just moving out, and we were able to move right in and real seamlessly, so things worked out.
It's really different than the penthouse, though, isn't it?
It's night and day, and people ask me quite frequently if I miss it. I don't miss it whatsoever. I enjoyed our time there. It was wonderful when before we had a family, but now I would not want to be there at all.
Is that your little swing in the tree?
This is the baby's swing. It's not my swing. I'm small, but not that small. We just had this. Now, before I go any further, I need to have you promise that you're going to come back and do an after show. This will be the before show. We have a significant amount of restoration that we want to do.
Let me know.
And would love to have you come back afterward and see the after.
Can we go on in and...
Of course.
Have a brief look inside?
Sure.
Now, what's the style of this house, Dan?
This is a Craftsman that was built in 1917. It was... I'm not sure who the architect was. I am in correspondence with the granddaughter of the couple that built the home in 1917, who lives in Newport, who's in her early 90s and lives in Newport Beach, and has a significant number of pictures and other documentation about the origination of the home.
How many owners have there been, do you know?
I think there have been about 7.
And the square footage?
It's a very interesting configuration. As you can see, where we're standing right now is a living room that kind of blends into a dining area, which comprises the majority of the home. It's 2,000 square feet, but only 2 bedrooms.
But 2,000 square feet is quite large for this area, isn't it?
It
Or
is.
it's larger than most of them.
It is. This, I think, is it's a unique. Well, not. I think it is a unique home. It was built for. I can only speculate that the owner was a had unique needs to build a home this size, but with such minimal bedroom space. I think is kind of unique and surprising.
Are these the original hardwood floors?
They are. It's the original. That's the original tiling around the fireplace. The very funky wallpaper that you see is original. And if you direct your attention over to this area, you see gold leafing that was put over the wallpaper, which we slowly have been attempting to peel away to get back to the original wallpaper.
Well, this is the original wallpaper, the orange?
It is.
Oh.
It is.
Didn't you say you had indoor screens here?
There are roll-up screens.
Oh, and the screens are on the inside.
They are.
So when the window's open, why, you still have a screen, but it's on the inside.
Absolutely. Right.
That must be a unique feature.
It is. And what's also unique, as I'm sure you can see from the exterior, as well as where we are here, are the I think this is unique for the time period, the very large picture windows. So we have this one right here.
You have a great view of the park, don't you?
It is a very nice orientation facing the
this
park.
one too.
A very large window here. And this is something that I personally haven't seen. Perhaps it's not unusual as I think, but I have not seen picture windows this large.
That is a large one.
In Craftsman homes. And then, of course, there's another.
What year did you say this was built?
1917.
Okay, because mine was built in 1919, and my windows aren't nearly as large as this.
My best guess is that the owner had this built, and it's situated on a lot that's over 12,000 square feet. Had it built to take full advantage of the park, of the orientation facing the park, and that would probably explain the very large porch area, which is a nice sitting area that faces the park.
Being here right across the street from the park with the circular drive, I would think that would cut down on a lot of traffic noise.
It does. Sometimes around 5, 6 o'clock after work, Monday through Fridays, there's a little bit of traffic. People sometimes cut through Rose Park attempting to miss the 7th Street traffic. But for the most part, it's pretty minimal.
I love the beveled glass in the cupboards here.
Yes.
I assume that's original, isn't it?
It is original. It's wonderful, as you can see. Unfortunately, it's been painted over. That's one of the many things we have to do in our list of restorative work.
Stripping the paint off the woodwork?
Stripping the paint, removing all of some of the electric heaters that unfortunately were put in the 1970s.
This must be a picture rail, is it, up there?
I don't know. That I don't know. Some of the other interesting features I pointed out to you earlier, this is a Murphy bed that actually pulls out.
Well, I've seen those before. Most of them used to be in the door that would swing around and pull down.
And pull down. This one actually pulls out.
Oh.
And it's quite large. It's
is it usable?
It's almost 10 feet. It is usable. Unfortunately for us, we don't have occasion to use it, and but it's an interesting piece.
Well, one day when you get this all finished and fixed up, we'll come back and we'll show the before and after.
I really hope you do. We have a significant amount of work that we're going to do on the exterior, landscaping, a significant amount on the interior.
I really like the open floor plan of the living room, dining room area. It flows. It'd be great for parties.
Well, and it is. And it's interesting you asked earlier about the loft. In a sense, it's very similar to a loft, and it almost replicates the sense of the openness of a loft in that I think the focal point of the home becomes this living room and dining room area rather than bedrooms. And so the bedrooms are used primarily just for sleeping, and the communal space is this big open area, which I think facilitates a lot of family time and closeness and good conversation.
Your dog is so quiet in there, but keeping an eye on it.
She is. The Weimaraner's room is that back room there. That's the designated dog room and the baby's playroom.
I remember on the at the Kresloff, you had a strip of grass up there for her.
That's right. You remember that. I used to go to Home Depot and buy the little strips of sod, which I would have to replace weekly or bi-weekly. Now, of course, she has this enormous area to romp around, and she's quite thankful for that.
Dan, thanks for letting me stop by again.
Thanks again, Harvey.
And
always a pleasure to see you.
We'll come back and we'll do it over.
I appreciate that.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you. Take care.
Don't go away. We'll be right back with more Long Beach Treasures.
The needs of your business could be solved with a simple call to Charter Business. Data networking, high-speed business internet, business video solutions. Our business-class data and video services are designed to help you keep things running smoothly and efficiently. That's why during this year's Aquatics Grand Prix and the U.S. Trials, the Long Beach Sports Council made Charter Business their communications partner. Charter Business, the way business works. Call now, 1-888-975-6100.
And welcome back, and we are now at another home here in Rose Park. And Shannon, you want to introduce our new guest?
Sure, this is Connie Reinerson, the owner of this home, which was built in 1914.
And this is, again, another Craftsman home?
It is another Craftsman home, and you'll see in this some really nice examples of original woodwork. This home is a little bit unusual in that it actually sits on two separate parcels. And so one of the things that Rose Park is known for overall is the fact that we have large lots, large yards, and so that attracts people in general. But few of them offer as large a yard as this one.
And you said you're the fourth owner?
About the fourth owner, yes. That's third or fourth owner, yes.
Okay. Well, let's go in and check out the inside.
Okay, terrific.
After you, ladies. Oh, I can already see the beautiful floors. Oh, wow.
This is the gas light. The original gas light was made into electrical.
Oh. Is that
Original chandelier.
is this wallpapered on the
That
ceiling, or
is
is that
wallpaper on this is lath and plaster, but that is wallpaper on there, yes.
Well, it almost looks like an old tin
The
ceiling.
old tin ceiling, yes. This is the original mantle. In the earthquake of '33, we lost everything but the mantle. So we have this fireplace in here now.
It's so neat to see a home who
Hasn't been,
the woodwork hasn't been painted.
and the walls haven't been changed. Yeah, the woodwork hasn't been touched. We washed this woodwork with Murphy soap, period.
How many square feet do you have here?
Oh,
Shannon, I defer to you.
It's between 1,300 and 1,400 square feet. The tax records show it just over 1,300, but my feeling is that it's actually a little bit larger than that.
Is that a working gas fireplace?
Yes, it is.
and this room is there. Oh, I don't know where you're going.
Oh,
Sorry.
I thought you were going to say something.
Yeah.
Well, let's just walk this way and then we'll circle back. Shannon, you want to give me the tour?
Sure.
You're
This is, and you can obviously use the space however you want, but this is, we just passed through the living room, and this would be the dining room area. And you can see that it does have the original built-in china cabinet, which is in excellent condition. And again, all of the original moldings. You have double French doors that go out to a little side porch where there's a porch swing. And then you've got two doors opening to a kitchen. And the kitchen is very interesting if you want to move on to the kitchen. Or stay here, either way.
No, we'll go on. I was just looking at the cupboard doors here.
Yes.
How Craftsman this is. It is so
Yes.
typical Craftsman with the wood insets there.
Yes, it really
The
is.
wood is beautiful. It's in great condition. You must have a forced air furnace?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
New plumbing. Yeah. New,
Let's
yeah.
go on in this way. I guess we're going to the kitchen.
Yeah, this home, Harvey, one of the things about this home is that when you walk in, it just looks like an old home. And again, you have the very typical Craftsman style details, but you also have the things like forced air heating, central air conditioning, copper plumbing. You've got a skylight.
Is this original?
The skylight? No. No, that was added at some later point. The other thing is the kitchen is almost like two kitchens, because you've got what was, again, very original, and you can see you've got a vintage stove there, which is still operational.
It does work?
Absolutely. And you've got a sink there as well. And then if you turn around and catch this over here, you've also got a second stove, a microwave oven, and a second sink. And so you've got some things like, again, very vintage style cabinets.
That's original there.
So the only thing in here that's really not original would just maybe be the top.
Everything on that wall.
And you have in here exactly what I want.
Pull down
Oh, this is fabulous. Go ahead and show that,
Pull
Connie.
down
Oh, yeah.
out of the wall. And pull down and pull
Ah.
down here.
Now, this is exactly what I want to do to my house. This is beadboard.
Yes,
And
the
I-
keyboard is great.
I want to put,
Look how thick those old
oh,
boards are.
yeah, I want...
even used to kick the cupboard closed. That's
I
nice.
want to put beadboard on the ceiling in my bathroom and then wainscot it
Oh,
around the
that's a nice
side.
look.
That's what I want.
That's
to
a
do.
really nice look. Yeah.
This is almost like two kitchens. And
Isn't it? Yeah.
Back here, what do we have?
This is it technically could classify as a bedroom because you've got a closet, a window, and a door. We're not exactly certain what this was for, but my belief is that it was a trundle bed that would pull
Oh, wow.
out from there. And so this, Connie used it as a sewing room. You could use it as a breakfast room. You could use it as a guest bedroom, a nursery, an office. Because it's got so many windows and it's so light and bright, it would make an, for a home office or something like that. But
Nice
again,
built-ins in
you
there.
do have nice built-ins there. And so again, there's some good storage as well.
Is this have air conditioning?
It does have air conditioning.
Because as I walk through, I feel
Yes,
cool
you can feel
air.
the cool
and,
draft. Yeah,
yeah.
it does. Uh-huh.
Let's continue around.
Okay, terrific.
Wherever I have. Boy, these are old floors in
The
here.
old
aren't they?
plank floors that have been painted.
And we have how many bathrooms?
We've got 2 bathrooms, one which was added, and this is would be sort of the master bathroom, if you will.
Oh.
And because this is kind of the one that's more private. This has a shower and a pedestal sink, and you can see because of an additional skylight, it's very, very light in here.
Before we go on through here, I'd like to sneak out the backyard
Let's
since we're at the
definitely.
back door
Yes.
because I want to see the size of the yard.
Oh, it's a great yard.
Laundry room facilities. Oh, this is a nice big, oh, it's a big yard, isn't it?
It's a big yard, yes, yes. Yeah, so you can see there's room for pretty much, there's a vegetable garden out back there. You've got a detached shed or workshop, a seating area back there, patio here, grapevines. There's, more than a dozen fruit trees here. Yeah.
That was the sentence.
I'm sorry.
I wanted to say a farm in the middle of the city.
I just can't get
Literally.
over how large this is.
This
I
is
mean-
like, you feel like you're on a farm when you're here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you have an alley back there?
Yes. Yes, access from the alley if you want. Many people on the street do have. We could have.
Now tell me, do you pick the grapes and stomp them and make your own wine?
We just eat them like they are.
Oh.
Haven't got into wine yet. That sounds good.
That reminds me of I Love Lucy.
Let's go back in. I want to make sure we get to see all the house.
Okay. Oh,
By the way, there's a basement I just see.
this does. It has
You
a
gotta
cellar.
see that. Come here. You really need to just get a peek a few minutes.
Okay, let me go down and peek. John, you're going to have to bend your head. There's a lot of storage down here. I wonder, does this, do you know if this gets water in it when it rains? We'll find out as soon as we get back out, I guess. Does water seep in here when it rains? It's always dry. Okay. Let's go back in so we can see all the house, because I don't want to miss anything. Okay, from the bathroom, we're going into what would be a bedroom?
Yes, yes. It can be totally private by closing that door and the bathroom door. On that side, you have your bathroom, bedroom together here. And the closets have windows and things on both sides. And we do have an alarm system in here also. So, and this is interesting. I don't know what it was at one time. Might have been a little window or something. I'm not sure. But we just put this little thing in there and scored it. But this was originally here.
Huh. Maybe, I was going to say a medicine cabinet.
Yeah, it could have been. Could have been.
Either that, or it's also possible that the house might have ended here.
Right.
And then when the bathroom was
Added.
that
Right.
window.
So that could have been a small window.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes it's interesting in these old houses because you can tell by the remnants of things what was there before.
Right. Going through here, we're going into, I assume, oh, here's another bathroom.
Yes, another
Is that the original tub?
Yes.
Clawfoot tub. Wow.
And
Well, we've only got 2 minutes, so we have to move along here. So.
You need to see the front room if you've only got 2 minutes.
Okay.
You
Well,
can see the front
let's see the front room.
Because this one has some really nice features. You've got the double doors, again with the original wood there. And then you've got another really nice built-in with the secretary, and then also the glass enclosed bookcases on either side. And this one, again, if you wanted a home office, would be fabulous because you'd have a view of the street.
Did you call this the front room?
I called it the front room, but yes.
What would you?
Well, that's the living room, but I was just saying that the room that we had missed.
Oh, okay. From the Midwest, where the front room and the living room were about the same.
Okay.
Same.
Yeah.
So I was curious about the terminology. Shannon, I want to thank you. Connie, I want to thank you. And Caston, I want to thank you for joining me today because now I know more about Rose Park, and since you're a realtor up here, if anybody wants a home in Rose Park, call Shannon Jones.
Yeah, or they can go to my website. All of our homes that we have listed, we offer virtual tours of.
Oh.
And it's www.showmehome.com.
And be sure and go down to Caston's Portfolio Cafe at 4th and Junipero and enjoy a good cup of coffee.
We would love that.
So thank you all for joining me, and thank you. That is our show for this time, and be sure and come back next time and join us as we take another walk through history and uncover more Long Beach treasures.